Hello friends of DG Model Works, DG here, and I wanted to give you a quick layout update. Kind of a continuation of what we discussed on my last layout update. Stay tuned. Alright, this is a follow-up video of the interchange / staging track idea that I had. And I had a couple scenarios I gave you, and you guys gave me a bunch of good feedback. And actually, I'm looking for some more feedback with this video. But I did make a little bit of progress, and I wanted to share that with you. Plus, I wanted to kind of clear up some confusion maybe. I don't think some people have an idea of how my layout room is in relationship to the entrance to my house. So that is what kind of was throwing a wrench in things. So I will address that in this video as well. You might be able to see behind me, I have some modules built for one of my interchange / staging yard track. Now the reason I say slash is because I kept referring to it as staging tracks or a staging yard. And I mostly want to use it as more of like an interchange track or a place to come and go, you know. So I guess that's a staging track, but I'm also going to be using it kind of like an interchange track as well. I'm going to set the camera up and maybe show you how I set these modules up. Now, of course, it's not complete yet. I still have a bunch of work to do yet, but it's a start, and I thought I'd share it with you. Okay, to kind of put things into perspective a little bit, so you understand the relationship and orientation of my layout room. So, of course, everybody has seen this. This is my layout room. I'm going to walk backwards out of it so you get an idea here. So, we're coming out of the layout room section. Now we're headed, like, this is kind of like what you would call a mud room or a foyer or something like that. It is the entrance to my house. And actually this was all one big open room at one time when I bought the house. And when I built the layout, I actually added this wall. Behind me is actually part of my basement. Behind me yet is the basically the stairway up to my house. I live in a raised rancher, so we are in the basement. But this is the entrance to my house and the entrance to the layout room. So like I said, when I built the layout, I actually added these walls to separate the layout from this entrance because, yep, it was all open. Excuse the mess. Believe it or not, I'm not rich and I don't live in a fancy house, so you have to bear with me. So originally the plan called for a staging track or staging yard to come through that wall and across the main section or main entrance of my house. And here's another wall. So I was limited to that. I wanted it longer, and some people suggested I just bring it around in a curve and put another hole in this wall and put it back into the layout room. Well, you know what? This is the entrance to my house. I don't want another hole in my wall. One hole is enough, and that's all it's going to be. But I appreciate the suggestion. It's just, that's why I'm not doing that. Alright, so I'm going to set the camera up, and we'll set these pieces up. They're not exactly, real easy to set up, but they're not real difficult either. So they will only be set up for operations anyways. And I wanted them removable. So to start with, I bought a couple of these roller stands from Harbor Freight. They actually had a roller on it. I took the roller off, and I hope the lighting's alright. Unfortunately, the lighting's headed the wrong direction for the camera. It might make things dark. But anyways, I'm using these. I bought two of them. They're pretty cheap actually. And we'll set one here. But using dowel pins and braces, Yeah, definitely gonna have to move that in further. I think once I get the hang of it, it might go a lot smoother. One piece in, give you an idea here. It's resting on this. It has a couple dowel pins up through to line it up. And that's a 6-foot section, and I have another 6-foot section to add. And again, bracing and dowel pins. Now to set up the other piece, I have another one of these stands. And like I said, once I really get to making this a little bit more permanent or easier to set up, I will make some marks. That way I know where to sit them to allow this to work. And again, line everything up. And I put these little clips here to help just make sure it doesn't come back apart. And believe it or not, I actually set the stand right, pretty much in the right spot. Alright, as you see now, that is the idea. Now that is 12 feet long and more than enough room for, you know, at least 3 tracks. I think I have that like 11.5 or 10 inches wide. So I can get a number of tracks on there, and I think right now I'm only going to put 2. Just to see how it works anyways. Like I said, I still have some work for this to do on this yet. Maybe paint it, of course. Maybe put some mending plates or something under here just to keep this from digging out the wood. Things like that. And of course the wiring in the track. Wiring, I'm just going to use simple plug connectors somewhere under here where I can just unplug it when I want to disconnect it. But that's the idea, and so far, I mean, it's a little bit cumbersome to handle, so I don't know how that's going to work. Only one way to find out. I also thought about using something like Bachman Easy Track or something on here. Maybe it'd be a little bit more durable, or maybe line up a little bit better. I don't know. Give me some suggestions on what you would do as far as track laying on this. I mean, of course it's removable and I want them to line up when I put them back together, and I don't really want to have to fiddle with a lot of things to get them lined back up. Plus I got this section here. So I'll have to have the track disconnect somehow here. So, I mean, I did a pretty decent job on my lift out, but I don't know if that same process or the same process will work for this or not. But I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. Give me some suggestions. I'm open to it. And here we go. That'll come through there after all that mess is out of the way, and it connects on right here. I also need to find a more permanent place for this lift out. And I also got some plexiglass to put up the sides of that too, to keep anything from falling off. That's another project. So anyways, that's one of the staging tracks, staging yards, or sections. So now we'll move on to the other one I was discussing. In fact, I think I'll keep my movement on camera so you have an understanding of the orientation of this one. So we'll go back over here, and if you don't remember what I discussed in the last video, go back and check it out. It's my last update video, layout update video I did. But anyways, I am going to put a turnout right here and run the track up along the wall. Remember, I wanted to make it hidden. I talked about putting a park or something above it and bringing it around, moving this curve in, maybe put it through the wall, things like that. Well, I'm not going to go that crazy yet. I'm going to try the simple thing first, see if I like it. So I'm just going to run it up this whole side of this wall to the corner. That'll give me between 10 and 11 feet, which is, you know, my other track or other staging yard's 12 feet now with that bench work. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm not necessarily going to worry about hiding all of it. I may just put up some view blocks or you know, vegetation, whatever, tree line, just to see how this works. So that's it. I'm going to have 2 stub end staging yards or interchange tracks, whatever you want to call them. I wanted them to connect at both ends originally, but I think for my purpose of this layout and operations, I think I'll be able to get it by with just that. And if I want to run a long train, it will be basically when I just want to put a train on to run a long train and pretty much watch it, you know, not so much operations. So for an operations standpoint, I think this will work all right for my situation. But again, hey, let me know your thoughts. All right, that's it. Hopefully it wasn't too long, because I imagine it was a pretty boring video, just watching me walk around and talk about it. Well, all right, there you have it. All right, take care, guys. I'll see you on the next video.